Okay, so this is supposed to be a quick GT Legends Altbierbude install guide. Here's the website. We can zoom in a little, which is probably helpful. If you want the website in English, click on the British flag up top here. And that's done. So as you would anywhere else, just register for the website. Security code, your name, email, your username, GTL username, and GTL lobby name. Probably use the same one here. This is the one that will be shown on the website. This is the one you use in the game, and this is the one you use to access the lobby. GTL team name, don't need that, can leave that empty. And yeah, that's the registration already. You will get an email asking you to basically activate your account on the website. And once you've done that, you can access the download area right here. Go to Gizmos, and then dies und das is what you need for the install. First off though, for me, I have the original CD DVD, so I'm gonna use this install right here. If you bought the game over Steam, probably just install it like you would any other game over Steam. So this is the folder I want to install it into. Gonna simply change my start menu folder like that. Create a desktop icon, yes. And then wait for the game to install. Okay, then once the setup is finished, just configure your graphics for the first time. Select DirectX 9, full screen anti-aliasing max. I wouldn't use VSync, but I know in GTR2 it's bound to the FFB, so the more frames you get, the better FFB you have. I'm not actually sure if it's the same for GT Legends, but yeah, I'm not using VSync in the old Simbin games, as I'd expect it to be the same at least. Okay, then we can start to patch the game. We use the GTL v1.1 patch from here. Then also Python 2.7.1 and WX Python 2.8.11.0 and the Bierbuden auto update right there. Download all of these files. And then we start with the GTL v1.1 patch. A zip file, so you just extract that. Then open the exe. Install into the folder of your GTL installation. And this one is quite a quick install. Finished. Then we move on to installing Python. First the 2.7.1. Store that. I'm gonna make a folder in here, Python 27 in program files. Okay. Got Python installed. Now the WX Python. This should already give you the Python folder. If not, just change it to wherever you installed the one before. Then keep these last couple of subfolders. Full installation. And then we're finished with that as well. Don't need to view the README. And now we can move on to installing the Autoupdater, which will install all the cars, tracks, and other patches for you. No, we don't want Pilzbierbude, Bockbierbude, Weißbierbude, or the autosync for rFactor 2, just the Altbierbude auto update. These two you already have installed, but you can't unselect this. Doesn't matter. Now we go next. Select the folder for your auto update. For me, this will be in my GT Legends folder where I already have the archive, which you won't have, but I'm gonna get into that later. So that's my folder that I wanna install this into. And now it wants to download the Python version 2.7.6. You only need 2.7.1 for this, but it attempts to download the newest one, which will fail because the server which this program accesses actually is not online. So it will try to connect for a little while and then fail. There we go. Retry. No, we do not want to retry because we already installed that. We still have the auto update installed though. So it only failed the Python installs, which we did before. Now we move on to the installation of the actual Altbierbude auto updater. This one, yes, I expected that. Read it. I think it's like a 15-second timer where it prevents you from clicking next so that you actually do read it. And then you just put in your account name and password from the website. GTL installation folder. If it doesn't find it automatically, just browse it and select. Now the archive folder. That is where all the zip and 7-zip archives for the mods are stored so that you don't have to re-download them every time you install the game. So for you that should be an empty folder that you create somewhere on a hard drive with, I would say, at least 60 gigabytes of space. I think the full archive is around 40 something gigabytes. So then it'll check what is in the game. Done. Here's some other rules that please read. And then click next once you did that. Alright. Gonna have these two edit desktop and program menu. And then done. You have the Altbierbude auto updater now also. It will open automatically the first time you install it. This is normal, this message. Nothing wrong with that. For me, it will check the archive files for a bit now because I do have the archive from my old installation. For you, it should probably be a quick check because your archive folder is empty. Okay. Then once all the archive checks are complete, you can see all the cars and tracks and other patches in here. We do not want to download everything yet, so we click no. Now we go to tweaks over here and select GTL Patch. This will fix the little error message that came up before when we started this for the first time. Install this, it'll download for a bit and then install the patch. Download is finished, now it's unpacking. And then we'll see this little Python window up here, just doing its thing. Okay, once that is done, the car classes patch was successfully installed. And now you can go on to update everything. So we go there. Again, for me, it will check all my archive files now. And for you, it should be quicker, as I said, because you probably do not have an archive installing for the first time. All right, with the archive check once again done, you just install all of this. It will take a while to download the first time you do, but I would say it's worth it. It will download with a maximum speed of 200 kilobytes a second. If your network isn't set up, that is. If it is configured for peer-to-peer, which you can also read about here, how to set everything up so that can increase your download speed. That is explained in there. Also, if you wish to download faster, you can go on the website donations over here. I'd like to donate. Here's the instructions for that. It's not an automated check for donations, so an admin first has to see that you donated, and they will then give you FTP access, which leads to much faster download speeds. Yeah. So I'll wait until all of this has installed and this has downloaded. You will probably be asked for a download ticket. You will find that down here. If you are logged in. If you aren't logged in, you won't see this. So just copy paste that, enter it when you are asked for it, and yeah, then the download will start for you. Okay, so now that everything is installed, we'll go over to tweaks again. And then here in game settings, you can see the unlock all cars option. Create this file and you just click on there and then you'll see in your game folder. There it is, empty file, but that will unlock all cars for you. Set car price. GT Legends, you usually have to buy the cars after you unlock them as well. For this purpose, we'll just set the car price to 1 for everything, so that we don't run into issues of not having any money for a certain car or whatever. So now that will apply to all the cars. As you can see, may take a minute or two, and after that it should be fine. Okay, that was quicker than I thought it would. To be fair, it's only the standard cars that have to be patched with that. Then we go to Erweiterungen and install the advanced setup menu in whichever language you want, English, German, French, Spanish, or Italian. Gonna choose English here. Did that. Now go to commands and then the 4 gigabyte patch. Is not applied. Do you want to apply it? Yes. That unlocks 4 gigabytes of RAM to the standard 2 gigabytes that the game uses, but on modern system we obviously can use more RAM than 2 gigabytes. Now I would highly recommend setting this game to run as admin in the compatibility tab of the properties. So do that. Then we can start the game if there's any boot issues, so it doesn't start after a few minutes or it just closes the process after a certain amount of seconds. You can also, in compatibility, try out either Windows 7 or Windows XP Service Pack 3 compatibility modes. That only if you run into boot issues. Otherwise, start the game. Give it a few minutes to start because it will have to load up all the mods. especially for the first time after you turn your PC on. It may take a while, also depending on your hardware, hard drive, and all that. Okay, and in my case, I checked over the task manager. The task or the process closed itself after like 20 to 30 seconds. So we'll apply compatibility mode and try again. Okay, so after booting the game up for the first time, you'll be asked to enter your profile name. This is what you set in the registration for Altbierbude as well. Makes identifying people a lot easier. Set all your controls up, and here's your force feedback. Wait, no, this is not force feedback. This is force feedback. The menu is very simple. Maybe play around with this a bit. I'll not go through all this right now. Here you can access your controls afterwards again. The audio, which will turn the music down. Realism, you probably want all of this off. Flag rules on, start countdown. I don't like it, but you can just try out what these do maybe for yourself. Cockpit gear display, I want to have on the right. But yeah, just set all this up for what you need, for what you want it to be. Virtual mirror is here, high res and all this GeForce simulation. Best to put that to 0%. And load new cars, I would advise to set to safe speed, so that if you stop on track or go off course during practice and qualifying, you'll load new people that joined after you have joined. Always may lead to lags when somebody joins during qualifying. You are on a fast lap and it instantly loads the other car. Then you may experience a lag and your lap is ruined. Garage only I don't like, because if I can just stop on track to load people, I don't have to quit my run. So I would advise to use safe speed there. Now after we've loaded up the game for the first time, we now have a profile, so we can exit the game. And your profile is right here in user data, this folder with the name. I already have my old folder backed up, so I just copy paste this. Copy. Overwrite any files when necessary. And then I have my old settings back from before I deinstalled the game, uninstalled. And now what we want to do is to go to tweaks in the Autoupdater again, and you'll see that in profile settings, have profile to choose and can change some settings here. No AI control, keep this checked, otherwise the AI may take over. Auto pit, do not check this, otherwise the AI will pit for you, and especially on add-on tracks, that does not always go well. Force auto pit off, checked in accordance with auto pit off. Auto lift and auto blip, you can play around with this. I keep it off because I clutch manually and blip manually. Pit crew push is for when you run out of fuel in the pit lane. You can then put it in first gear, press the throttle, and your pit crew will push you to your pit stall. That only works in pit lane. If you run out of fuel on track, then that's race over unless some kind soul pushes you to pit lane. Rear view particles on, allow hard in cockpit on, windscreen dirt buildup. I like it on wheels visible in cockpit on for open wheelers in case you drive open wheelers in the game. We do have a few F1 and F3 mods, so yeah. If you have this unchecked, then you wouldn't see cockpit wheels while driving those. Garage detail, you can just leave that. Always rebuild head, check that, because otherwise it may lead to game crashes when trying to join servers and the track which the head file is bound to got updated in the meantime. Replay stated, I keep those on. Extra stats, I mean, it tells you definition of the thing when you hover over it. Crash recovery, if you manage to flip, it will put you back upright and you can resume driving after a few seconds. Damper units, I like this instead of just clicks. I like to see the actual units in Newton per millimeter. High process priority, can keep it on. If you experience game crashes, maybe just try turning that off, or if you have issues with TeamSpeak, Discord in the background while the game, and this is just what we just set in the game already. So then the next step is to install the XD tool, which we can find back here under dies und das again. Go right there, download this, unzip it. And these two just go into the main install folder of the game. Paste them in there. The XD ini, which I have backed up here already, this will only be created the first time you load up an actual session and go into the car. Then this file will be created and you can after that change some things in there, like the position, which I have tweaked, and the scale, because I'm racing on 4K, so I need the scale to be on 200% or me to be able to see anything. Now this is important, the key to switch on off. The standard key is the circumflex symbol directly below escape and next to the 1 key. If you press escape by mistake when trying to aim for the circumflex key during a race, you will DNF. It's not a car has to be stopped and you hold for 2 seconds kind of thing. If you press it once by mistake, instant DNF. So I put it away from the escape key on the other side of the main key field above my enter key and below backspace. That is, I have an US American keyboard layout. So figure out which key you want to control the on-off key here. I always keep it on in this game. In GTR 2 you actually have the pit menu on page 2, not in GT Legends, so it's not that important to be able to switch it on off, but yeah, probably still best to put it somewhere away from the escape key. That said, another tip is to put some bottle cap over the escape key for racing purposes. Some people do that. Just do not DNF accidentally. Another thing we can do is the reworked HD Skies for the game. Just a little graphics mod. Download that. Then after the download is finished, again unzip it. This for once is a 7-zip file. If you do not have 7-zip and cannot unpack this, just download 7-zip from its website. Should be an easy Google and easy install. Now this folder, you can actually also just copy the game data folder and put it in here. 3 files with the same name, overwrite, and that's the easy install for the HD Skies in the game. So at this point we're ready to drive offline perfectly fine. We have everything we need. Now for online racing, you need the lobby fix and highly advised lowGuard, which is an anti-cheat solution. Download both of these. lowGuard is just a little background application that you can run from wherever you want. I'll cut it and paste it into my main GT Legends folder. Easy to find there. Run it. If it asks you to install a .NET Framework version of Windows, just do that. Or Microsoft, I should say. Now in lowGuard, you go to Settings, then put your path in. For me, that is T Games GT Legends. Just copy paste the address as text if this is not your path. These message levels, you can keep that. Here it should say game.altbierbude.de. If it says anything else, change it to game.altbierbude.de, which should be set already. Port 810, also correct. And you'll just have this program run in the background every time you join join the server from the Altbierbude. That is because the original cheat protection broke when the copy protection was taken out of the game to enable the game to run on 64-bit systems. Because the copy protection and anti-cheat protection was only made and written for 32-bit programs. So either you remember to start this every time, probably good to create a shortcut as well on the desktop. You can either remember to start this before you start the game, or if you go into the forum, scroll down to English boards, backstage, Altbierbude lowGuard. Then click on this thread, and right here, Mohun has written a little script. Just create a new text document, input this. Now there's only placeholder paths, so we copy paste the addresses to our paths. I actually deleted the lowGuard thing right there. It has to point to the exe, not the folder. There we go. Save that, and then rename the whole thing, including the .txt extension, and then call it something like lowGuard plus GTL or whatever, .bat. Accept, and if you execute that script, it will start both GT Legends and lowGuard at the same time. You can use this, you can start lowGuard manually, you can start the game as well manually. Doesn't matter what you do. If you have anti-cheat started, you're good. It is not a requirement, but of course it is nice from you if you start it, and always nice if you don't cheat. And the lowGuard status of every driver will be registered for every lap. If we go to best laps, choose any car and track, you can see these are drivers that did their lap time with lowGuard enabled and it found no issues. Then if we don't check the lowGuard only box, you can see that there's lap times where lowGuard did not run. These are mostly old lap times before lowGuard was even written. So it doesn't mean these were cheated. I won't be able to find an example now probably, but there's also a red icon. If lowGuard found any issues with game files, then it will display this as red, and probably something was wrong with the game files and not how it should be. Then we go into the lobby fix, unzip this one. This is just a simple text file that you copy and paste into the main GT Legends folder, and that will enable you to join the Altbierbude lobby. And now we are set to go online. So then in the game we select multiplayer, internet, and then we go to register down here. You may be asked to put in your online key before that. You should have gotten one with Steam. Otherwise, if you are using the CD, GT Legends has a CD key and an online key. The CD key is, at least on my version, printed onto the CD. The online key is on the back of the handbook, and the online key is what you need to put in to race online, as the name says. So then we register with the credentials, as on our website preferably. And then click on the register button. Registration successful. Now here's your username and password. You don't need to type that in all the time. When you just want to log in, do that. And now you're here and can join the servers. The data rate, best to set it to LAN. It's the best possible connection this game offers. And this day, every internet connection should be able to run LAN data rate in this game. And yeah, then you're free to join all the servers. Just join the races, have fun, and hopefully we'll see you online in a few days, hours, whatever. Hope this guide helped. If you have any more questions about the game, maybe about how pit stops work, I will put my Discord server invite link into the description. If you want to join that, join, ask questions. There's a pit stop guide written in there as well. If you don't have Discord, you can use just the comment section of this video, or also always helpful the forum for all kinds of stuff. There's a search function. There's a nice FAQ section right here, which is in German, but if you ask something in English, people will also be able to answer you. And yeah, as I said, hopefully this helps. And yeah, I'm out. Bye.